Hey guys, this is RJ Game News USA here. I wish I had more positive thoughts on what I'm about to talk about because it actually pains me to be so negative about this. Today we're going to talk about Dragon Ball DAIMA, and I got a lot to say, so stick around, hit the like button, share this video out there, subscribe if you haven't already. And let's just jump into it. So, before we talk about Dragon Ball DAIMA, we got to talk about how we got here. So, of course, you guys know, Dragon Ball is my all-time favorite anime, period. Like Dragon Ball Z, even you want to include Super and GT into that. Overall, has a full anime. It's my all-time favorite, by far. With Dragon Ball Z in particular being my favorite part of Dragon Ball. I watched it many, many times over. Same with Dragon Ball, same with Super, same with GT. I'm not a person that usually rewatches stuff, but the few things I do, I really rewatch it. And it's one of the handful of things. So, I've been an advocate for let's have a Dragon Ball movie every year if we can. Let's do more TV shows. Let's do more spin-offs. And I gotta say, Akira Toriyama, he made one last show with DAIMA. So when it finally dropped in English on Hulu, I was excited to check it out. Although, the premise itself, I was left a little bit apprehensive going in, not quite as excited, and my gut feeling was correct. This show fucking sucked. It's not worth ranting and raving over. To me, it doesn't really change the Dragon Ball universe at all. It's a side story. I think Dragon Ball Heroes is much better, and I don't know what's canon anymore. They say everything's canon. Okay, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. Let's go with it. Daima's story was just absolutely, completely nonsensical dribble. Seriously. Some of the animations were fine. That's about it, especially towards the end of the series when the fights were picking up. But its story was absolute fucking dribble. And I know a lot of people sometimes will try to criticize Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z for plot holes and maybe the story not being as interesting. I don't know what the fuck you're watching, but those stories were some of the most interesting stories you could think of. Like, they're cliche now, but when those came out, when that anime came out, they were the first to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's not cliche from that point of view. The original Dragon Ball, yes, it went from we have a search for the Dragon Ball story to a tournament arc, to a search for a Dragon Ball story to a tournament arc. But it told such a great story, like with Piccolo and Piccolo Jr. Then you go to Dragon Ball Z, just straight from beginning to end. Just an excellent story, with the Saiyans, then Frieza, then Cell, then Majin Buu. Twists and turns, you never knew it was going to happen. Characters that were enemies becoming friends. Character growth and development throughout the show. Haunting moments. Iconic moments. You flatly just get absolutely none of that here. You even get a lot of that in GT and Super. GT and Super are like 8 out of 10 animes, okay? Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are like 10 out of 10s. Dragon Ball Z like an 11 out of 10, in my opinion. DAIMA is a 4 out of 10. It's just not passable. It's not watchable. It couldn't even hold my attention. I can't even regurgitate what the fuck they were trying to do, because honestly, part of the time I had the TV on mute and I was busy talking to people on the phone. I was busy, you could say that's my own fault for being distracted or not paying attention. The show gave me no fucking reason to care. I don't like the idea of Dragon Ball characters de-aging to children again. It's stupid. Didn't love it in GT, but definitely don't love it here. Just the villain sucked. Everything sucked. Everything was trash. Don't bother watching this. You're better off just not watching. Just stick with Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super. I always looked at it like this for the timeline. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z go together perfectly. After that, I look at a split timeline. One timeline is if Beerus wakes up. One timeline is if Beerus doesn't wake up. So if Beerus wakes up, that's Super. If Beerus never woke up, that's GT. That's how I look at the timeline. Any of the extra movies fit in between segments, in between certain episodes or in between certain layoff periods, we'll say, or cool down periods. But other than that, I don't think too much about the canon of the show. Daima does fit in somewhere in that canon, and I don't think that's a problem. But at the same time, I just wish the show didn't even exist, to be honest with you. I wasted my time. I wasted too many hours watching it. I could not pay attention. It could not keep my attention any less. Just the most I could give this show is a 4. And that's just not passable at all. And the only reason it's even that high is the animations are crisp and clean and nice for the most part. There was the occasional funny moment, the occasional good fight scene. It just didn't come together. This was a total mess. I got nothing good to say, really, about this. So, again, very shocked that I have to even record this video. I consider not doing it. Because I know a lot of people that know me as a Dragon Ball fan are going to be very disappointed with my take. But I'll always shoot it to you straight, guys. I'll always tell you the truth. If I don't like something, I'm not going to defend it. If you liked it, that's great. I'm glad you found enjoyment out of it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about Dragon Ball Daima. Let me know what anime you're watching. I need to find some anime to watch for sure. Definitely need something else after that. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you later. Peace. I'm out. Have a good one.